The if displays are the best when you want to keep your device simple and when you have no time to the market. So you will avoid everything that is connected, that is hard on the display side. There will be a touch control, there will be display control, there will be memory. You just focus on like few, let's say, instructions that you need to send and operate the display. And another is this refurbishing of the old devices. It's super easy with the Eve, and it's popular, I can say.
Hi, Kamil.
Hi, Wojtek. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. Let's talk about Riverdi Eve display series and selecting the right one for industrial applications. Could you introduce what Eve embedded display is and how it works?
For those who don't know, it's a series of displays that we have, and they are smart displays, or intelligent display, we can call them. So they are equipped with the video engine and the image processor on the board already on the display. So we have a way easier task to control this. Eve actually stands for Embedded Video Engine. So it's a video engine that we have and we put on the board. And why we decide to create this kind of, it's like a easy transition between the, let's say, old devices typically to the new generation, but also, as I mentioned already, it's way easier to create a new device with this. And why is that?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yes, because generating image is a complicated task, and you need a powerful processor, like processing unit or graphic card in a PC, and it's a pretty complicated task. You need a lot of memory, and you need to be very fast to calculate all the pixel data, etc.
Okay, so the moving pictures are undisturbed. And
even static image is
even static.
Even static image, if you want to generate, as we discussed before in the let's say naked display series, where there were no controller, we said that you need to send the image data all the time. It's 100 times per second. All the pixels need to be sent to the display, and again and again and again. So it's like a complicated task to generate this and send it to the display. And in many devices that we have on the market, let's say from coffee machine maybe to even the machines in the factories, or like a smart home, let's say temperature controller, etc. The task of this device is pretty simple, like to brew a coffee. Yes, I mean it's a complicated task from like process point of view. You need to understand very well what you do, but from like the power of, let's say, data processed in the process is slow. You need to like heat the water, start the pump, maybe start the grinder, and pressure the water through the coffee and fill up the cup. Small data, and then you need to have some algorithm, process it and send to this actuators, motors, etc. But the display on the other side is super complicated from computation point of view. If you take out this task from the device itself and put on the display, you have like 90% of the work with the display done on the display side, or 95 even. And then you can keep your system simple. So if you are good at making coffee machines, or like, I don't know, even vending machine. So you know how to make a machine and you know how to process the data there. But you just want to print on the screen the information for the user, show some graphical images, and maybe take the input from the touch screen. So you would rather process simple data. You would rather want to send, like, show this image or this buttons on the screen. And this is exactly what Eve Display Series is doing. So you are connecting the screen with your system through the SPI or QSPI. It's a little bit faster, and you just send the comments. So instead of building the button in your memory and sending it very fast to the display, you just send the instruction. Please prepare me the red button in this position, and please inform me if somebody will touch the button. Something like that.
And the display does the job.
And display does the rest of the job. This video engine that is on the display actually do the job. And we speak right now about Eve 4. Fourth generation is the latest, or almost the latest revision of the Eve controllers.
What was the story there?
Yeah, so first were, for smaller resolution, Eve 1. Then Eve 2 was for higher resolution. Then Eve 3, it was introduced with the external memory. So not only you can put the video engine on the display, but you can put the memory. So you don't need to send even images like photos or video. You can place them on the display itself, program them once during the manufacturing, during the production of a display, and then you can just use it. So you don't need to send like, show me this button, and it should be a red button. You can say, show me this button with this graphic. So let's say if it's a coffee machine, you want, rather instead of button 1 or like a text, let's say Americano, you prefer the image of Americano. Yes?
Okay.
So then you need to take it from the memory. You don't need to send again from your processor. You can take it from the memory that is embedded on.
What was the advantage here? Main advantage?
Main advantage is that you just send this content, all the images and even videos, once to the display during the manufacturing of your device, and then they are stored there. So your system can be very low resources and cheap,
Okay,
basically.
Yeah. So the memory is not occupied with visual data.
Yes, and also the interface, you don't occupy it. Later you just send information. Show me this Americano on this position, and that's it. Or play the video that you have in the memory. Yeah. So it just if3 and if4 is just the higher resolution again, a little bit faster and higher resolution. So we are able to connect even 10.1 inch display and 12.1 inch display that are already available on riverdi.com with if4, and they have 1280 by 800. So very high resolution actually equipped. What these displays are for? So basically, if you are building a new device and you are not very experienced in large embedded systems, maybe you don't want Linux and IMX, NXP, etc. You want to stay with the microcontroller, but also you don't want to play with the, let's say, large microcontroller with the maybe SDRAM memory. So it's complicated the project a lot. If you want to keep it simple and use the small microcontroller that you know so far, you can just, take the SPI or QSPI from your microcontroller and connect to the if display. And then your system is very simple and the display is sophisticated. That's the one use case. So to keep your work very simple. So time to market is extremely fast because, work around the display typically takes a lot of time. And the other interesting part that our customers are using if display is to refresh the old device. Imagine that you have, again, let's focus maybe on this coffee machine. Okay. So you are building the coffee machines for 20 years. So maybe first coffee machines, they had no display. Yeah, they had just the buttons, maybe, and text next to the button. Yeah, make me Americano or make me cappuccino. But later, maybe you introduce a small alphanumeric display that is showing maybe the progress,
all right.
Maybe the name of the coffee that I pressed, some parameters. Maybe I can set something like a temperature, like it's a feedback for the user, yeah, that I can, do something with this. Like from the first generation that you have buttons to the second generations that you have, let's say, small display. Brewing the coffee process didn't change at all. So you have the processor inside that can brew coffee and you know how to do it. And from first generation to the second is the same. And nowadays we are very used to an expectation from the users are that there will be a screen, the colorful screen that I can touch with the images, because we are all used to mobile phones, tablets, and we expect the same from the coffee machine. So now you want to put colorful display, but actually this colorful display require a lot of power, and you don't have it in your inside your machine. So you have two choices: either to rebuild completely all the electronics by yourself,
and that's a hassle, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, and take the old brewing process that didn't change to the new platform, certify everything. That's a lot of work. Or you can speed up the process, take the display with the embedded video engine embedded on a display, connect with the SPI that you typically have, because all the microcontrollers, they have SPI interface, and write a simple program to show. And then from first generation to the third generation, let's say, so from buttons to the colorful display, your machine didn't change that much, so you avoid all the costs. Maybe you redesign, of course, something to look different, but the process is pretty much the same. And you have the large screen. You can have even 12.1 inch screen, beautiful, colorful display in your machine, and keeping the machine as simple as it was from the inside.
So it's good for upgrading user experience.
Yeah, because for user it will be completely different machine. I will say, wow, that's fantastic. And that 90% of the machine is the same. You just added a display.
Are there any limitations considering ifs?
I mean, you have limited memory. So if you would like to play a video or like all the time put the new menu, you need to send it. It's possible during the operation of the device also, but it takes a little time. So you need to consider this when you program that you want to switch the content. Other limitations are that, the video engine is predefined. So it have a lot of, let's say, functions, but limited. So you can do what was, say, planned. It's the same like when you use a graphic library. Yeah? You use a graphic library, you can do pretty much everything. But if something is not in the graphic library, you can't do it. Yeah, you need to do it by hand, let's say, which is also possible actually, because you can send the raw data to the image, but it will take time and some power on your side. But in most cases, most devices, we haven't seen a limitation, because if you can show the buttons and menu based on images that you store locally on the memory on the display, then you can show pretty much everything.
And what's the most expected feature or upgrade in future here?
Like all the time, we try to have high, like the same what Riverdi is doing. We are adding new screens with the high resolution and larger sizes.
Okay.
So basically, support of the larger sizes screens. That's my dream. Yes, to have another IC that would be able to work with the large size displays and be as simple as before generations to use.
Could you please sum up what the EVE display is best for and how to get it?
The EVE displays are the best when you want to keep your device simple and let's say low power processor on your side, and when you have no time to the market, so you want to speed up the process as fast as possible. So you will avoid everything that is connected, that is hard on the display side. There will be a touch control, there will be display control, there will be memory. You just focus on like few, let's say, instructions that you need to send and operate the display. And another is this refurbishing of the old devices. It's super easy with the EVE, and it's popular, I can say.
Okay. If I'm not sure whether I need it or if I can handle it, what should I do?
First of all, have a look on our website, riverdi.com. What is available there, you will find a lot of documentation, but also examples on our GitHub, how to use it. Arduino examples, even, like if you want to start and try something, or Raspberry Pi examples, or STM, NXP, other microcontrollers. But if you still are not sure if it's a right display for your project, please contact us and we will help to guide you through the process of selection.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.